Landed in an Evolution aircraft. And a Polaris Ranger running down, I'd just been told by Joe. So Terry Wayne is probably flying that just aircraft. And then I have some other coming up as well, but we can, okay. And if you'd like to meet some of the Stoll pilots, you can do a meet and greet of the Stoll pilots there at the Bushwill Base Camp, where enthusiasts can interact with the pilots and admire these remarkable aircraft up close. Pilots will distribute stickers, posters, and other goodies, and you can even tickle them if you get close enough. Be sure to check the forum schedule and attend the Stoll Forum tent located in the Bushwill Base Camp to discover everything you want to know. And that's Larry Mednick right there. Industry, which eliminates the mass design. That's going to be the Super Stoll Just Aircraft LP20. And I just LP20. Find the 20 on that list somewhere. I think it was on the bottom right there. It's probably that one needs to be.
Red body, American flag lead.
No, that's Evolution. I'm sorry.
Gray belly, red top.
Yep. That's not Gary Schmidt. That's J.B. Batana. We'll have to find his name in here to find the whole thing. That's Batana, J.B. Batana. That's the Super Stoll. And we've got, if it's the yellow one inbound, then that is going to be a Super Cub, isn't it? Could be a 180. That's number 5. Well, that's not Warren Gobilar's. Excellent. Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy. Do you have the Nessus? He's going to be competing. I think that one, I'll bet you that one right there is going to be, yeah, we're going to have to check the listing. I don't think that's Jay Stanford. I'll have to find out who that one is. It's not on the back of that one either. That's the A-22 Vixen that just landed from Aeroprac. They're in LP-26. There's that Super Stoll again, and everybody wave. That's Andy Corsetti. That's Andy Corsetti at the controls of that A-22. A-22 LS. That's a gorgeous airplane. Like I was saying before, that is Stoll with good cruise and comfort. Since it cruises about 110 miles an hour with big gas tank, you can really cruise a long way with that thing. Last year's price was about $130,000. I have no idea about this year. Don't hold me to it because they won't sell it for what I say. If that's not one. Okay, yeah, but I just want to make sure because We're not going to put it out on the screen unless it's not.
We got one of our powered gliders coming in, so we're going to look for him and see what he can do on this runway for us today. And it looks like we got the Revolt Trike coming back in now on short final. We're looking out to see how he does today as he's bringing that trike in. Look at that beautiful wheelie there popping in that tandem trike. The Revolt coming in again to show you what they got. Look at that beautiful landing, keeping that nose wheel up, making sure it's a smooth touchdown as they're coming in.
Some of the other folks out here, Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy is out of here from Sebastian, and they've got the Argon. You can learn how to fly a gyrocopter with them. They are the official and proud distributor of maintenance facility for both the Argon 915IS and the Argon GTL, made by manufacturer Lufthansa in Poland. They're constantly working with them to improve their products based on their own customers' experiences with their products. What are you waiting for? Come visit us. Take a demo flight. See what the excitement is all about regarding gyroplanes. We created a little patio oasis for our students to relax and watch the air traffic. That's Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy out of Sebastian, Florida. Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy is in flight LP 38. Sure, I'll tell you what, let's talk about this. We'll talk about that. We've got Warren Gobular coming up for the Stoll Invitational. He's going to be one of the competitive folks out here. Who else do we have?
Looks like we got Jay Stanford the second on our list today, which is going to be super exciting to see.
And Joel Dobson, he's going to be in the C-172 tail dragger.
We got Rick Ness coming in a Uper Cub.
And don't forget Jerry Clemens, he's in the Husky A1C.
We got Doug Jackson coming in with his Badlands.
Oh, I like that one. And don't forget Brian Steck. He's got that Legend Cub Mozak, and that Moak is mother of all Cubs. Moak.
We got Sheldon Hetherington coming in with a Zenith 750, representing the Zenith crowd tonight.
And Patrick McIntyre in his Rans S7. Patrick McIntyre doing a great job.
Keith Lange coming in with a PA-18.
And I get to announce, of course, the famous Dan Reynolds. He's got that Chinook Valdez Special. Tell you what, he's about to break the the world record out there, who was just a couple of feet away in the last event.
And I'll counter that by saying we have Dave Curley coming in with that Just Aircraft Highlander. What an insanely incredible aircraft we're going to be able to see perform tonight.
But he's not going to beat Dan Reynolds. No way. Jeff Poole, though, with the Cessna 170B. It's a 1955 Cessna. And, of course, you see the Super Stall just landing right now. That's Just Aircraft Super Stall out of LP20. Give him a wave over there.
And look at that gorgeous paint scheme, folks. That red and gray just showing off for you in this gorgeous setting towards the evening sunlight. That was that Just Aircraft Super Stole coming in. And then our last competitor on the list today, but by no means the least, is going to be Levi. And he's coming in with the Sepsev Torch.
And that Levi Nugas, just to make sure, it's not a competition. We don't have competitors here. This is a demonstration. The scores aren't going to be kept officially. They will be measuring, but this is a demonstration at the Sunset Circus Sun and Fun Paradise City 2025.
Absolutely correct, Paul. Thank you for that, reminding us it is an amazing demonstration. We got the Aeropract 22 LS landing for you tonight. That's what just touched down there in that beautiful little blue airplane. Amazing performance from that aircraft. Give them a wave. Let them know you see them. Let them know they did an amazing job out there tonight.
It looks like Andy Crissetti at the controls, and they're in LP26. That definitely looks like Andy Crissetti. Some of these pilots, they've got that profile that you just can definitely pick out.
And there goes the Super Stole again, showing us what she's got. Climbing away straight up towards the moon. Doing her best to give those fighters we saw earlier at the main stage a run for their money as she's climbing up and out of here. The Sun and Fun Stole Invitational that we're going to see tonight, that amazing demonstration we have lined up for you, is just one of the amazing, exciting lineups and performances we have in our annual Sunset Aerial Circus. We're going to see that, of course, Stole demonstration, as well as some breathtaking aerosport performances, all for you guys, our favorite aviation enthusiasts. Our Stole chairman, Anitra Goddard, says she's honored to play a big part in bringing the fastest growing aerosport in general aviation to our expo. And there we see that Aeroprat going again, taking off towards that gorgeous sun, showing us that she too can compete even with that big Super Cub. Demonstrating that climbability we see from that gorgeous side-by-side seated aircraft. Stole plus comfort with that A22 LS from Aeropract.
Email it to me?
We were in here, you did. We saw Dennis's message.
Yeah, but I didn't email it to me.
Okay.
I gotta go get it. That's right, it was Strange Bird.
Yep. Thanks.
All right, so let's go find that real quick.
Now when you say find it.
I'm gonna download it.
Okay.
I'm gonna go find it right now.
Oh, I see.
Download it.
Okay.
We got time. Taylor, let's lay your schedule on the copy here.
Okay. And you know about the time that we're down for the F-16 flying by, as per the schedule tonight only.
Yeah, the F-16, F-35.
Yep. In conjunction with the concert at their hard time, which is on the schedule.
Yes, it is on the schedule. I've got it on the board there. All right, so let's make sure I have my VPN running, because without a VPN, without the VPN running, you don't want to download stuff. So we did this, and it was Strange Bird, wasn't it?
Strange Bird.
Strange Bird, so Okay, we're in, and we are connecting, and we are. Should have probably done it from the other computer, though. In fact, I think we're going to back out of this. Pause off, and we're going to get out. We'll do it from the other computer. We're going to get out of that. So I don't want to mess up our feed that we're doing. Let's make sure we're still going. We still going live?
Yep.
Why don't I see it here on this one?
Facebook.
Or did you say we're live?
Yes. Facebook.
Well, you're waiting for our Stoll events to kick off tonight. Be sure and check out and spend some time just touring around Paradise here, our little slice of heaven. We have over 73 vendors here in Paradise this year for you to tour around and visit with. We want to make sure that you get a chance to check them all out and pop your head in and see what they got going on. There's some amazing vendors out here that are so excited to meet with you. So if you got some downtime while you're waiting today, want to get out of the sun, or in the next week while you're here touring around waiting for events to start, be sure and stop by, give them a shout out. If you need a map, we have some up here by the media booth. So do swing by, say. So if you got some downtime while you're waiting today, want to get out of the sun, or in the next week while you're here touring around waiting for events to start, be sure and stop by, give them a shout out. If you need a map, we have some up here by the
All right. Got the VPN up. Now we can download whatever we want. Right?
Yep.
And we got that gorgeous Super Stoll coming in now on short final. Look at that baby just hovering there, coming down towards the runway. The Super Stoll that we're seeing tonight is being piloted by Terry Wayne. He's doing an absolutely incredible job, and what an absolutely incredible aircraft. The Super Stoll is just aircraft's short takeoff and landing version of the Highlander. Such a cool airplane we're seeing out there. Its upgraded design features include new slatted wings and virtually indestructible landing gear that can accommodate 29-inch Tundra tires and two 13.5-gallon wing tanks. Go ahead and give Terry there a wave. Let him know that you see him. See if you can get a wave back as Terry's down there taxiing. And that's Just Aircraft bringing us their gorgeous Super Stoll. On final now, real close to touchdown. That's that Aeropract 22. There she is, just beautiful, setting it down real gentle for us.
Right.
Go ahead, give them a wave as they're taxiing by. Let them know that you see them and that you see what an incredible job they're doing. Look at those gorgeous big acrylic doors, tons of visibility with this aircraft in its amazing roomy cockpit. Something you just don't see with a lot of Stoll aircraft. They're in there sitting comfy. Look at that pop door getting that airflow. Give them a cheer. Let them know that you saw what a great job they're doing out there tonight. Good job, Team Aeropract. And here goes an amazing gyrocopter for us. This is Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy that's coming down the runway right now, demonstrating their little gyrocopters they have for us today. Look at that baby fly. Gyrocopters are such cool aircraft here in the light sport world. They have traditionally pusher or tractor pull props, but a lot of times now we're seeing those pusher props. And that top propeller is not actually powered. It is spinning just from the aircraft moving through the air, which is such a cool mechanism of flight. So that was that gyrocopter. Now we got that Aeroprat coming back for a pass for you guys. They wanted to see your glorious faces again, and look at them climb. That was Aeroprat going after Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy.
Yeah, so she's limping around. She's going to fly out Thursday, but she's flying back on Saturday.
Wow.
Yes, dear. Johnny needs you.
If there's any powered paraglider, powered parachute folks that want to fly tonight, let me know. The safety briefing starts in about 8 minutes. If you want the powered paraglider and powered parachute, if we've only got a couple of folks, we may turn over the time. So make yourself known now here at the media booth if you want to fly powered paragliders, powered parachutes for about the 45 minutes up until the time that the Paradise City Sunset Circus starts here at Sun and Fun, Lakeland Land Airport 2025. 8 minutes, powered paraglider, powered parachute, safety briefing. When they wiggle, it's not good for TV. Hey, Gimpy, Mama, what are you doing over there? Unbelievable. Unbelievable. I even put on clean clothes this morning. Yes.
They're going to pause the demonstration for the 737 showing up, right?
And it's an F-35 and F-16 flying.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they're going to pause the demonstration from the Stoll guys.
Okay.
I'm assuming that's somewhere in here, because that's going to have to be before Arrhythmia. So somewhere in there. I have no idea. They're going to call it, right?
Here you go. Here you go.
Oh, is this an updated one?
That's an updated one.
Okay. Version 3.
Hot off the press.
Hot off the press. All right. So at 7 o'clock, the Stoll's going to start.
Okay.
Right? At 7:40, they're going to do the flyby. Yes. They're going to land them by 7:38 because 7:40 they're coming by.
Yeah.
7:45 is the parachuters, and then 7:51 is Arrhythmia.
Over there before Arrhythmia was here. Arrhythmia here.
Yeah, Arrhythmia here.
Okay. All of this is
Here. This is all here. They are going to do the balloons tonight?
They're doing the balloon flow.
Yes. They're going to inflate them, but not take off.
That's my understanding.
That's happening before the Great Lakes Drone Show.
That's after.
After?
Yeah.
Because you've had little arrows making me think of
It takes him a while. Yeah, well, the arrow means it's moved.
Okay, so it's going to be before the.
then drone.
Yeah, so they've moved balloon glow to before the drones.
Okay.
Drones is last now.
Okay.
That's my understanding. It could change before we get there, but that is my understanding.
Let's ride down enough to do the balloons.
And John has not given me the routine information for tonight. So as soon as,
Arrhythmia, I know.
yes.
And I'm trying my best to download Jimmy Buffett's Strange Bird that they want to play during the thing too.
That was Bat Hawk. That was just touching down right there with their aircraft. What a cool bird they're bringing to us today. Go ahead and give them a wave as they're taxiing by. Again, that's Bat Hawk that came in. There goes the Aeropract taking off. Give Bat Hawk a wave. Let them know that you see them and that they're here doing a great job. They're going to be in booth 31 this year. Be sure to stop by and say hi later when you get a chance. Look at that cool bubble cockpit and that insane tail clearance on that little aircraft. Bat Hawk is a light sport aircraft designed and built for tough conditions. That is their main game. The aircraft is supplied as complete and ready to fly, which is absolutely incredible for you if you want to get your hands on this thing. It has an amazing strut-braced high wing, which you can see demoed right there as it's sitting there just waiting to get off this airfield. It has 2 seats in a side-by-side configuration. That's 2 seats in that side-by-side configuration, maintaining comfort while you're up there flying. It has a fixed tricycle landing gear and a single Rotax engine with that tractor configuration that we were mentioning earlier. And if you are wanting to do that powered paragliding, powered parachute briefing, that is going to be starting right now. So get down here to the HQ tent, get into that briefing tent. Let them know that that briefing is happening right now if you want to fly with us tonight. And that's for that powered parachute, powered gliders. If you want to get over for that briefing tent, now's the time.
Yes, sir.
look at how easy they move that Bat Hawk around. Such a convenient aircraft to have and be able to move and fly. It's a conventional 3-axis light sport aircraft, which means that it does not rely on the pilot doing weight shift to affect control. You're able to control it just like any other light sport aircraft, which is an amazing opportunity. If you're less comfortable with that concept of a weight shift, but still want to fly in one of these amazing light aircraft, definitely swing by and check in with Bat Hawk. They're going to be in LP31 if you want to go and say hi to them while you're here this week. Well, we have a little bit of a lull in between events. Do take time to tour around here in the Paradise. Swing by the Sandbar. Check out our amazing food vendors we have down here, right local to us this year. Super excited to be able to have that opportunity. You no longer have to go all the way over to General to get some snacks, some cold drinks, whatever you need to tide you over. So do swing by our Sandbar. Also check out, if you want a good walk, go up to the island and see what they got going on up there. It's also where our Pilot Welcome Center is. Hopefully some of you were able to swing by there as you flew in. If we look over the trees right now, we can see we got somebody coming in. If I were to bet money on it, I'd say that's probably our Aero Pratt coming back in. They just love showing off for you guys. So be sure and give them a warm welcome as they're coming down. Again, we know you've seen them a couple of times already, but we want to see that same level of excitement that we had before, since they're out here putting on a great show for us during some quiet time. They're right now making that base to final turn. They're going to be bringing that aircraft down, and we're hoping for that smooth, gorgeous landing like we saw on their last couple of laps. Look at those wigwags coming in as they are sinking that Aero Pratt right down to the ground, aiming for that center line there on that runway, bringing it down, a little bit of a flare, holding it right off the ground. There she is. There she comes, right there to the line and smooth. Look at that gorgeous touchdown from the Aero Pratt. That's the 22 LS model we're seeing. Swing by and see them. They also have an amazing little red bird and an orange bird sitting out here at their booth today. Some truly incredible aircraft. Let them know that you saw them fly. That's so exciting. A pilot loves nothing more than being complimented on their flying. Be sure and tell them they did a great job as they were out flying around tonight.
That's fine.
I can't figure out how to play it back, but it did record.
All right, so we can kill this now.
I did. I stopped it.
Still don't.
I know, but I stopped the record.
Oh, okay, we'll cut that. Get out of this whole thing. We can see the settings, where it went to, and on the recording. 66. All right, so it went to documents and it starts. Put it on memory card.
There she goes. Look at that little Aero Pratt fly. They are just here showing off for you guys tonight. Loving the smooth air that we're seeing. Look at that climb performance as she's taken off here. What a great little STOL aircraft we got up, zooming around for us, filling in our airspace and giving you something to watch while you're sitting here waiting for tonight's full festivities to kick off.
Yeah, I recorded it twice because I didn't like the way it sounded.
So let's put it on memory stick. We bring it over. Then we can put it into.
Our powered paragliding pilots just headed out to go and get set and ready to go for their flights tonight. We're very excited to be seeing them out here. Watch for them as they're setting up and be sure and cheer very loud for them. They're in, of course, those full open setups. So they're going to be able to hear you and they want to hear you get loud. Like I was cracking that joke, right? Pilots like nothing more than when someone applauds their flying. Give them a wave for... Give Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy a big wave as they're going past there. Make sure that they can see you. They're doing such a great job demoing that gyrocopter for us.
And we've got 38 minutes. That's right, only 38 minutes left before the Paradise City STOL Invitational and Sunset Circus commences right here at Lakeland Linder Airport. We're live streaming this on Live ATC and various internet channels. Well, that's right here. Probably 38 minutes right now. What do you think? About 38 minutes?
I think 38 minutes sounds just about right. Maybe 39 if we're being the most exact possible.
And all you folks that got seats, be happy because last year we had a couple thousand people on the fence watching the show, watching the antics of the folks, the most competitive names in the sport doing this takeoff and landing demonstration right here, like Warren Gobular, Jay Stanford, Joel Dobson, Rick Ness, Jerry Clemens, Doug Jackson, Brian Stegg, Sheldon Heatherton, Patrick McIntyre, Keith Lange, Dan Reynolds, who's one of my favorites with that Chinook Valdez special, Dave Kearney, Jeff Poole, and Levi Nugas in that Slep Storch.
If you're really impressed seeing these guys fly tonight, be sure and stop by Bushwheel Base Camp. Give them a shout out, especially tomorrow and throughout the week. Let them know that you saw them fly and they're doing a great job. So do stop by, say hi. That's out at Bushwheel Base Camp here in the Light Sport area. Let them know that you've seen them and that you thought they did an incredible job. These pilots love to talk to you. We also have some forums going, so you can get a chance to meet them, greet them, say hi, and check out those forums as well. There comes that Aero Pratt again over the trees right now. That's booth 26 and 28 here at Paradise. This is not the only aircraft they have with them this week, so do stop by and see their other aircraft they have as well. They're just demoing this gorgeous blue bird for us tonight. They're turning down onto that final now as they're coming around. They're going to have their wigwags going, hopefully putting on a real show for us, letting them know that they can see us and we can see them, and there we can see those gorgeous LED lights blinking as they're coming down. Looking at that beautiful descent rate as they're coming in, holding it steady, playing into that little bit of breeze that we got going on right now, just helping them out. Little bit of a sink. There they go. We should see a flare here in just a second. There it is. A little bit high. We'll see what this does for them as they're coming down. Maybe a little bit of excess energy. There they go, right onto that runway, right onto that center line, and beautiful. Little plop right down onto there. You can see that grass. Little bit of slip and slide as they're going down with that energy, but look at that. Just beautiful, rolling right down to you tonight. Aero Pratt, that's 22 LS Aero Pratt.
There you go, Aeropract A22LS. Andy Corsetti at the controls. They're in LP26. We're only moments away from the start of the show. When I do mean show, that is going to be in about 35 minutes or so.
We got that gyrocopter coming in now. They're making that base to final turn as they're bringing it in, showing it off for you. That's, again, Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy. They're accessible to you if you want to do some training in these incredibly cool aircraft. Such unique opportunities we have here in the light sport world. Some amazing inventions and some amazingly safe and available aircraft to you. Gyrocopter Flight Training Academy really specializes in making sure that your training experience is tailored to your needs and special for you. Some myths that they like to dispel for their students are that gyroplanes are not safe. Perhaps first generations were a little bit new. Anything new in first generation has some kinks to work out, of course, as any developer knows. They were not necessarily built to aviation standards in previous times, but now they are there. They are making sure there is a name for themselves as extremely safe methods of flight and safe methods to train. What a great way to let everybody experience the sky, which should be the goal of anyone in aviation. Aviation, we like to say, is one of the world's biggest team sports. We're all here to support each other and help out. We all share that same love of the sky. Now we can see our PPG headed out to the runway. We got a couple great pilots lined up for you tonight. We're going to see what they can show for us, show off their amazing skills, and another amazing way to get up in the air.
And we see going out there right now, we've got Kylie O'Connor, we've got Joe Andrini, and we got Russell Cummins. Russell may not fly, but he's out there looking at it, flying a PAP with Bruce Goldstein's design Blizzard is Joseph Andrini. And Joseph Andrini is in the green shirt with a helmet on. That's Ryan O'Connor with her daughter, Kylie, opening up the wing bag right now. He's throwing out the wing. What he'll do is he'll fluff the wing. He'll get some air in there and pull it up. You'll see it'll open up very, very easily. When he turns on his microphone, I have to stop because we're on the same channel. So you need to pick it up when he starts talking. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So we call this bouncing the wing right there. It's got open cells in the front, which cause the air to come in and inflate. Now, if you look, the wind right now, we'll double check, but it looked like it was right at about 8 miles an hour. And right now it is exactly 8 miles an hour from the north-northwest. So they're going to bounce the wing, make sure all the lines are straight, make sure everything is hunky-dory as far as pre-flight checks. Kylie, I believe, is 15 years old, and so she's a good pilot, though. In fact, I found in my flight school that the women and young girls, they actually flew much better than the guys, and I bet you can guess why. Can you guess why, everybody? Because the women listen to instruction and use technique, where guys try to use their ego and their power.
I was going to say, is it because we read directions, Paul? That's really what it comes down to, isn't it? We know how to actually read an instruction manual.
Yes, they do. They read instructions, and men, they try to, and only when they find that their power and prowess doesn't work, then they do it. What you see here is the black shape coming out. This aircraft here they're bringing out, this will be in the Sunset Circus that'll be later on tonight.
While we're watching our powered parachuters hooking up here, really highlighting the diversity and accessibility of this as a method of flight, with Kylie being out here at 15 or 16 and really showing us that it doesn't just take a full-grown adult to do this sport. She's out here really showing us that she's got it locked in.
And they both are flying, it looks like a Parajet. Russ, who's not out there right now. Russ has got a Kangoo, but he's not out there with it. But we do see Joseph Andrini and Kylie O'Connor. And they're flying one's got the PAP and the other one has got a Parajet with a Minari engine, I believe that is. And you can see her bouncing. It's about 50 pounds on her back. She's a little thing. She's only 16 years old. But the winds are nice. If you look at the trees across the runway over there, it's the trees. When those trees across the runway, when they start bouncing, that's when the PPGs and other ultralight aircraft like that start to have some issues. They're bouncing and swaying just a little bit, so we'll have to see. In the demonstration. Okay. And just to let you know, we are live. We are Sun and Fun Radio is also broadcasting this live, also on various YouTube and Facebook channels. We are live. So if you see a camera pointing at you, you can say hi.
Or hide your face if that's more your style.
That's
To
right.
each their own, you know, but we like to warn you guys what's coming. We like to let you know that there are cameras rolling around. If you are comfortable seeing those cameras, do wave to them, say hi. We'd love to see an excited crowd out here in Paradise City. We're super excited about what we have to bring you tonight, and we want you guys to be as excited as we are.
That's exactly right. And remember, just in a few moments, we're going to start the Sun and Fun 2025 Sunset Circus. That will include the Stoll Invitational with the big names, competitive names in the sport, right here at Sun and Fun. But again, Kylie and Joe Andrini are getting ready to take off. This is called a powered paraglider. It is a FAR 103 aircraft. FAR 103 aircraft meaning it does not require a license to fly. All you need is good instruction so you can fly a second time. I had to throw that in. You'll see quite a few powered paragliders around the country nowadays, more and more. In fact, part of the Sunset Aerial Circus tonight will include the Arrhythmia paragliding team. They will be doing precision flying in formation with both smoke and colored lights as it gets a little bit darker.
Now, Paul, I'm not super familiar with what these aircraft are that they're flying. Can you tell me a little bit about what they're holding in their hands and what they're doing right now?
Yes, I can. What they're holding in their hands there, Ash, is brake handles. Those brake handles are lines that go up to the trailing edge of the wing. So in their right hand, they hold a line that goes to the trailing end of the right side of the wing, and on the left side, the trailing left side. So if they want to turn, they pull a little bit of brake on that side, which pulls the trailing end down, adds drag, and causes the wing to turn around the axis. We see Joe backing up, moving forward, pulling up the wing. The wind is bringing it up nice and smooth. A little bit of power. He's going to lean back, vector the thrust properly, use the thrust to vector it, and he's up. That was a nice launch from Joe Andrini.
Give him a cheer, folks. Let him know that you saw him take off, and he did an incredible job up there.
And Joe Andrini in the Parajet. I'm sorry, he's in the PAP. I said that wrong. He's in the PAP. That's the manufacturer. And he's in a Bruce Goldsmith design. Kaylee brought up the wing. She's going to taxi that up. Nope, she's going to turn around. Now, she was doing a forward launch. My guess is she'll go ahead and do a reverse launch this time. Reverse is where you're looking at the wing. You pull it up, and because the lines are then crossed, you'll walk backwards and then make a quick turn to get everything straight and then go. These aircraft, they fly about 20 miles an hour. Thus, we are limited in the airspeed of the wind, because if you're flying in wind that's 20 miles an hour and the wing flies at 20 miles, your ground speed is what?
0.
That's right, 0. And if the wind is 25 miles an hour, what's your airspeed?
-5?
Well, your ground speed's -5. That's kind of a trick question. Your ground speed would be -5. Your airspeed will still be 20, but you would be flying backwards. And let me tell you, if your landing zone is in front of you, if Mama's waiting for you,
It's real awkward if you're backing away from
her. It's awkward. So make sure that when you do fly that the air speed or wind speed at that altitude is less than 20 miles an hour.
And kudos to Kylie for demonstrating how easy it is to lay these things back down and execute really safe aeronautical decision making for us out here tonight. She's doing an incredible job demonstrating how important it is to work within something you're comfortable with and how to do good maneuvering if it's something you're not comfortable with. So we'll see. We'll let her have another go here and be sure when she does whatever she decides to do, because she is an amazing pilot, that we give her full
What time is it?
support, lots of cheering, lots of smiles, and lots of waving as she goes by today.
6:35. We got 10 minutes.
So he's pulled starting Kaylee's machine again. Kaylee is in that Parajet with a Minari engine with a Bruce Goldsmith designed wing. Now, the size of the wing is determined by the ultimate payload. She probably weighs about 80, 90 pounds at the most. The motor is probably 40, 50 pounds on her back. So she's probably flying probably a 18 or 19 square meter wing. I, being 200 pounds, I'll fly a 26 or 28 square meter wing. When I do tandem flights, it'll be bigger. There you go. You saw her
There
pull her
she
left
goes.
hand
Give
down.
her a big cheer as she goes.
Excellent. Watch, and you see it has an exceptional climb rate. That is a true FAR 103 aircraft. Federal Aviation Part 103. No license required. Must be human controlled. One person at a time, unless you're an instructor and you have the exemption. And it must weigh less than 254 pounds. There are also other limitations, like you must fly in the daylight. You must not fly over congested area. You must not be a hazard to any person or property. So there's a whole list of FAR 103 or Federal Aviation Rule Part 103 that are necessary to fly legally in a powered paraglider. But like we said earlier, no license is required to fly that vehicle. Joe Andrani. Joseph Andrani. He's been helping us quite a bit here in the media team. So we have a number of other powered paraglider pilots here, Ernie Eli and London Ivy, a bunch of others. They're not flying tonight, but they're here, and you can go ahead and visit Cloudbase PPG. Cloudbase PPG is in booth 40B, 40 Baker. Very good. And the other one's Dragon PPG, and Dragon PPG is in LP21. So you can visit those powered paraglider exhibitors here at Sun and Fun, Paradise City, in those two booths.
And Paul, I had the opportunity to interview both of those teams in the last couple of days, and I was super excited to get a chat with them. Powered paragliding is a new world to me, coming over from the certified general aviation world, and it's been incredible to get a chance to talk to them and learn a little bit more about what you guys are doing out here and getting to see these Part 103 aircraft. So do definitely swing by. That was Cloudbase and Dragon, both PPG companies, and they're absolutely incredible to talk to, very social people. They will gladly chat your ear off about the incredible machines they have.
And it is the cheapest form of aviation and the simplest. The only instruments you have is what's between your ears, and hopefully you've got some good gray matter back there, because that's all you have, and some fabric and lines. And remember, coming up here soon is the Sun and Fun 2025 Stoll Invitational, which is all part of the Sunset Circus. That'll be happening right here. It starts at 7 o'clock.
There we see Joey coming over the top of us now. Give him a big wave. Maybe he'll look down. He can't wave right now. He's using his hands, but we'll want to make sure that he sees you and that you guys see what an incredible job he's doing for us demonstrating these light aircraft.
I clicked that one and downloaded it, but I don't know if it did. I just downloaded it on the drive. So there it is. That was when you just did that one. Right, so I did that one, you did this one, we just gotta do this one. There they are.
If we look down our runway right now, we see Kylie coming in, doing an incredible job, fighting with that wind, getting herself back up here safely. What amazing piloting from a young pilot that we're seeing in our community right now. It's always so great to see all of our young pilots that come out to these events and are out here demonstrating their skills. During my day job, I am a college professor and run an aviation science department, so I love getting to see all the new students that we have coming in now. And as a flight instructor as well, it's incredible to see everyone learning and out here enjoying these experiences so we can all share the sky together. What an amazing opportunity and what an amazing young pilot we're seeing in front of us.
Okay.
She is just walking it down on that wind, doing a phenomenal job, bringing it right down. Beautiful touchdown. She's got it on lock. Give her a big round of applause, everybody. She did spectacular, and we want her to know that she did such an incredible job for us tonight. There we see Joey out over the trees making his lap in the pattern with that incredible, beautiful parachute he's got up above his head. We're going to be able to watch him come in and around now on this lap and see where he's at. See how we're doing here. I know we're getting real close to the start of our invitational. It should be happening in just about 19 minutes. I was aiming for an even 20, but I was a little slow getting back to you. So we're super excited for that Sunset Invitational to be starting here shortly, but what an awesome opportunity to see these powered parachutes in action. You're going to see and hear some absolute STOL legends at the Invitational tonight. We're super excited to be able to have Jughead here announcing for you guys. I got to meet him back in Ontario at a different STOL event last summer. What a great guy we're going to have up here in the announcing booth. So knowledgeable, so competitive, out here just really showing everybody what for in his aircraft. So we're super excited to have him in the booth up here with Paul. You won't have to listen to me anymore once we actually kick off. But in the meantime, it's been great to be with you and to see some of these other aircraft fly. There we got Joey on a high approach over top of the runway. We'll see what he does. He's out there just enjoying this gorgeous evening we're having. And we are again about 18 minutes from that STOL Invitational. While we're waiting, since we still have a little time, do swing by the Sandbar. Get your snacks now. Most of our vendors are staying open through the full event tonight, but it's a good chance to enjoy that last little ice-cold lemonade. Many of our vendors should be staying open tonight, including some of our vendors like Everything Life Saving, which is bringing you camping gear if you're here under your wing, as well as many of our aircraft vendors are going to be staying open as well. So do swing in and say hi. Kylie, you want to tell us about your flight? How was that?
It was a little windier than what I was expecting. My landing, I got a gust and tripped. It happens. But other than that, it was really fun.
You looked great up there. You did an incredible job demonstrating for these people. What's your favorite thing about powered parachuting?
Just being able to go out and have fun with friends and fly.
Perfect. Do see her. Stop by and say hi. Let her know she did a phenomenal job for us tonight. There we see Joey. He's still high up in the air, loving his airtime and milking it for every moment that it's worth. We love to see him up there, love to see that parachute flying.
That's right. Coming up right now, here in about 10 minutes, the Paradise City Sunset Circus, which includes the famous Jughead announcing for the Stoll. The most competitive names in the sport will be here. Jughead, how you doing?
I am doing great, Paul. How's everybody here? Ready for Sun and Fun 2025? It is going to be a great evening. Check this out. Is it a drone? Is it an airplane? Is it a flying car? I was just reading a great article on it. This thing is cool. I can't wait to see it fly. If you were here last year, how many here last year saw it flying?
Yes.
A few? Yeah, this is pretty neat. But we've got a great lineup. We've got the paramotas, we've got the skydivers, of course, we got the Stoll flyers here, we've got drones flying.
And
it's a
the
good
hot air-
day, isn't it?
The hot air balloon. The hot air balloon's gonna
that's
be up
right.
there, too.
We got the hot air balloon glows. So, and I think we're going to have a surprise from the Air Force coming in during the middle of all this as well.
I think they should have their earplugs ready there, Jughead.
It's good at making noise and not much else, and I'll leave it at that.
That's a fact. That's a fact. But right here, this is 2025, so that means this is the 51st Sun and Fun right here at Lakeland Linder Airport, and it's a joy to bring you the Paradise Sunset Circus again. That includes the Stoll demonstration.
Well, we're glad to be back here. This is our third year that we've been here. Big thanks to Dennis Dunbar and all his whole crew here. The nice thing is we have had, usually we are fighting a wind coming out of the south, rolling over these trees, making it difficult for the pilots. I'm hoping this wind keeps up the way it's going and keeps right down the runway, keeps everybody cool, and gives us some really nice performance numbers. I would love to see some 30-foot takeoffs.
That's what I'm talking about, Jughead. In fact, I just checked. It's 8 miles an hour, pretty much straight down the runway. That should give Dan Reynolds a good edge because he's my favorite in that Valdez special.
That is exactly true. And we got some new airplanes on the circuit this year. I don't know if we're going to see them tonight, but Keith Lang has got his AP1 out there. Basically, he calls it the flying bike, and it's not too far off from that. And that airplane, I think, is going to be giving Dan and Steve Hendry with Yeehaw 7 a big run for the money.
And, you know, Levi Nugas, he's been throwing some dirt today. Levi Nugas has definitely got Dan Reynolds in his sights. He doesn't want to lose again.
That is true. And I know they were flying together in Texas and looking forward to it. And, of course, we got Doc Hollywood here to help us with all the great entertainment. So it's always good to work with my friends here. So I hope everybody is excited and getting ready. If you've got friends on the field that aren't here, get them texted. Get over here. Obviously, there's still some seats. I'd like to fill this whole show line up and get everybody out here, see all your wonderful faces. So I appreciate it.
And remember, this is all being broadcast live, so make noise when the camera's pointed your way. It's live on various channels. Sun and Fun Radio has got it going, and there's various Facebook and YouTube channels right now they're going to see this.
I'm not sitting in my car, so I can't tell you. Is it 1550, 1560? What's the frequency, AM frequency on the radio?
1550, I believe.
1550. There we go. There
You
we
can
go.
get it on Live ATC as well. Live ATC, go to KLAL and look for either Paradise City or Paradise City Radio. So you can pick that up.
That sounds good. So how many people have never been to a Stoll demonstration or a Stoll contest? We got some first-timers, some rookies. Excellent. That is great to see. So here's kind of how things are going to work tonight is, what are we pointing at?
Line.
Oh, the
I'm
line.
line. That's the most important thing right here. They're going to start and stop right there, aren't they, Jughead?
Hopefully we get it marked a little bit better. We'll get the flags up. Got our paraglider coming in. Who's the guy from the Navy? He does know that this is not an aircraft carrier. We don't need an LSO.
Well, actually, they're giving him 2 red panels, which means land immediately.
Oh, that kind of LSO.
Yes. He's being told to land, and I think that individual is flying a Kangook.
Well, he's been trying to land for 2 minutes, but he's probably doing about 5 miles an hour up there in the wing. And that is a big wing. That is a very big wing.
The wing goes. They fly about 20 mile an hour airspeed, and the higher you go, so
Yeah.
he'll float down in a minute, I think, Jughead. He's not part of the short takeoff and landing, though.
Well, they might do okay on some of the landings, but I think we got them beat on the takeoffs.
I don't know. You can pretty much take off that in a couple of steps if the wind is good.
What is handy about them is watching this paraglider come in and getting a study of just what the wind is doing. Because at the the east end, I've got windsocks that are different than what I've got on the approach end. Oh! Both landings were good. Yeah, let them hear it.
course, if you can reuse the equipment, it's all good, isn't it? So the lineup,
In that case, reuse the legs.
Yeah.
That's why I don't fly one of those. These legs don't run fast enough to get airborne anymore.
and the knees can only take so much, can they?
Yeah, and I've given them all it could take.
So what we're going to have here is a pivotal aircraft is going to go first, apparently, on this lineup. That'll be at 7 o'clock. The pivotal aircraft, that's this white one right here you see. It's basically a manned drone. It's pretty amazing. That'll take off first. That'll fly only for about 8 minutes. Then, of course, the Stoll Invitational, which we're all talking about, excited about, Jughead's here for. After that, they're going to have parachutes come in, and then the Arrhythmia demonstration team. They'll be doing some precision flying. And then the Great Lakes Drone Show, the Balloon Glow first, then the Great Lakes Drone.
I'm looking forward to it. Arrhythmia is always fun to see out here. Those paragliders, it's amazing what they can do. And you get the lighting. We're going to have perfect lighting this evening. I cannot wait for just getting everybody going and everybody here. The concert over there going as well. I mean, you guys have got such a great lineup.
Hey, Kenny Chesney right across there. But don't go there. Don't go. You can hear it from here. Kenny Chesney. But we've got it all happening right here. And, in fact, the Stoll demonstration, you're going to see top names in the sport right here.
So what we've got going with the Stoll here is realize this is a demonstration. So normally at a contest, we will have every 1 foot marked out to about 150 feet because we have airplanes from Cessna 170s all the way down to the specials like EHA, the Dan Reynolds Chinook that are landing well less than 100 feet. Okay. Now for my 170 with a stock 0300 motor, I need a little bit of wind to get sub 100, but in a calm day, 150 is a realistic number for me. Because we're doing a demonstration out here today, we're a little more approximate. Instead of having 15, 20 line judges out there being very precise and accurate, we're going to have about 4 or 5, and we're going to be giving you a little more higher or less fidelity landing numbers, unless we start to get somebody really close.
Approximate.
Because if we get somebody really close, you know where all 4 of those judges are going to be. We know about what it's going to take off and land.
That's right.
And ever since the second airplane was built and flown at the same time at the same location, whether you call it a demonstration for the FAA or not, it's a contest.
No doubt about it. These guys have egos, like all men, right? I mean, let's be honest here.
Wait a minute. What do you mean men? Have you flown against some of the women in National Stoll? You want to talk about getting egos and beat.
Well, that's a good point, Jughead. And they're good pilots, too. Everyone.
Yeah, and the thing is, this is a weight and thrust game, and most of them weigh a lot less than me. So it should be a great night out here. The team's all getting everything set up. Of course, we've got our Air Boss Flipper. I see him down there on top of the deal, and such a cool community. Aviation. I remember the very first Sun and Fun I brought a brand new, even though I was an Air Force guy, I was flying with the Navy at Pensacola. We had just gotten the new T6 Texan 2s, and I had the opportunity to bring it in on the very first Sun and Fun that existed once we had that airplane in the lineup. That was my first time here. And now I'm back this is my 3rd time, and back. It's just always so much fun. It's great to see it.
airplane down into the ground. It's a bit elevated now, back by the tail. They explained to me they have a keel there, just like a boat, and that takes up the landing. That's got the strength and the durability to do that day in and day out. That's how it was designed. What about the airplane and the company when it's aloft? And we'll get the clearance. The field is ready for our normal flight demonstrations. From
So, Danny, when it takes off, I was doing some reading actually on the airplane coming down as we were diverting around some thunderstorms. So we went out across the Gulf of America from Houston and came straight in from the west. But I understand it kind of takes off in a very vertical profile for the aircraft itself. Not only its flight path, but it goes from kind of that sitting level to very tail low, and then it goes up. And is that an automatic flight function?
easy for you to say, easy for you to describe. We're going to see it in person. It's a lot more fun watching it in person than trying to describe it, although Jughead and Paul do a great job with that.
Real quick before they get started out, I'm told I need to tell you about all the good food that's right behind you over there.
I'm going to not get to it today.
Also, John, it also takes responsibility. Live to fly another day. Take care of your machine and enjoy flying with a long future.
Yeah, and let me guess, it doesn't have an ejection seat?
Hey, by the way, as we're talking about it for Paul and John, you know, they often say that parachutists, skydivers, like the shooters team this afternoon, they fly out of a perfectly good airplane. But the great Wayne Handley told us many years ago, there's no such thing as a perfectly good airplane.
Especially if it's non-aerobatic.
Amen,
Well,
brother.
I tell you, I don't know about that. As long as
All
it's
right,
not a negative glide ratio, I think it's perfectly good to me.
Paul, I'll keep an ear on the air, boss. You guys keep going.
All right, here coming up, we've got the pivotal aircraft when they sort it out. After that, we've got the STOL demonstration. Then we're going to have a special thing happening that we're not supposed to tell you about, but I do recommend you keep your earplugs handy. Then we're going to have the shooters come in. Then the Arrhythmia flight demonstration team. They'll be doing powered paragliders with lights and smoke. And then we're going to have a balloon glow. And then after that, the Great Lakes Drone Show. That'll be a 3D drone show. That'll happen right here at Paradise City Sun and Fun 2025 at Lakeland Airport.
Well, it's a good sign. She's plugged in the helmet. She's pulled the canopy closed. I'm going to turn it back over to you guys. I want to watch this as much as anybody, so I'm just glad I don't have to hand prop it and yell contact 8 times.
That's true. I wouldn't want to hand prop that. That's got so many of them. But here it goes. Danny?
All right, technicians are walking away from our first demonstration. Pivotal aircraft. Now let me take you through the history of this. This is not a new company. Originally founded as a company called Opener back in 2014. That puts them into the theater for 11 years now. The design started back in 2009 by some of our great Canadian designers and talent. All right, now you're starting to see all that animation on both wings.
Did I hear you say counting the blades?
Introduced previously as an aircraft they called the Blackfly, debuted in Oshkosh, the big Oshkosh event back in 2018. That's what they were talking about. By the way, the test pilot is test pilot Tina. And yes, you can give her a big round of applause.
Wow.
Current aircraft, the Helix, available right now for pre-orders. And the contact, their website is simply pivotal.aero. And by the way, they're talking about delivery later this year.
So, Danny, is it hand flown or is it the computer's flying it, or can we do
you
both?
asked me that. It's got a safety feature in it, redundant safety feature. It's got a joystick on the right side of the panel. In the event that happens to malfunction, a flip of the switch on the left side transfers everything over to the left joystick. Now, the rest of the aircraft, they have triple redundancy. That's a safety feature. Test pilot Tina is an engineer in their R&D engineering team. And of course, as you imagine, it is fly-by-wire. Now, when you're talking about the speed of an airplane and the speed of a boat, we talk about that in knots. If you're talking about on the highway with your car, we talk about that in miles per hour. So the published cruising speed in knots is 55. That equates to 63 miles per hour across the ground. 8 independent electric power plants.
So the B-52 pilots will be right at home. It's amazing how quiet it is. A little louder during takeoff, but in cruise, that is really quiet.
Well, that takeoff that you and I enjoyed, that's the first time for me, by the way. That was a very impressive, but a normal takeoff. And the target altitude to the climb was 100 feet, then into the hover. Hover mode used primarily, as they say, for takeoff, and we'll see it also at the landing. Aircraft tilts forward to transition into the cruise mode. Now, into the cruise mode, during cruise, the aircraft software prevents overbalancing and ensures controlled, stable turns. And as you can hear, or not hear, it is a good neighbor airplane. And the 8 independent propulsion systems provide stability even in challenging wind conditions. A lot of safety issues and procedures and systems into this well-thought-out aircraft. And the team is proud to tell you, test pilot Tina, aircraft can land on various surfaces such as asphalt, sand, grass, or gravel.
So I
Equate that-
understand you don't actually have to have a pilot's license for it, but when you buy one, you go out to California and they give you 1 to 2 weeks of specialized training because it's not like anything the FAA talks about covers this airplane.
You're right. It is part 103. Now, we've got to put an addendum onto that, John. Training, training, training. Do not try this without training. And, of course, everybody knows that. They have flight simulators, and they'll get you comfortable before your first drive. But John is right. Part 103, no pilot license. And when I was talking about where they can land and how they can land and the surface they can land on, I equate that to my backyard, which is another great feature. Yeah, don't go to an airport. You don't have to. You got a little backyard, a piece of cake. Advanced sensors, smooth landings every time. Here comes the landing. Again, in your backyard. How cool is that? Hey, John, I'll go halvesies with you, okay? See that keel in the back? That's how they bring it down. That's a normal landing.
Woo! Let's
Wow,
hear
thank
it,
you,
folks. How
Tina.
cool
Thank
is
you.
that?
Charlie from the Pivotal team, who gave me a briefing early this morning, showed me around the aircraft.
And I think that name is so appropriate because it's really going to pivot where air and travel, personal travel, is going to go in the future. That is incredible.
That is great. Not only incredible, it was great fun to watch. That is normal, by the way. There was no air show routine into that. That is their safe way to take off and safe way to land. And again, I don't want to overemphasize it, but that has backyard written all over it.
And literally, it is almost like a boat trailer. Going to bring it up on that keel. I think they're going to be pretty busy tomorrow showing people
Test
that
pilot.
aircraft.
Yeah, test pilot Tina has the flight helmet off. Out of the cockpit, give
There
her
you
a big
go.
round
Woo!
of applause. Tina, you are fantastic. Thank you. Taking care of her airplane like every good test pilot does. Taking care of the details.
Look at that smile on her face. I don't think it's too hard to have that big a grin after flying that. That is cool.
All right, now the action continues. Arrhythmia coming into your left as we move Pivotal off the field. Not wasting any time. These are the Howard Parachutes. Now, this is the formation team that has performed not only here, but our shows at Oshkosh for a number of years. They are a precision team. You
Ladies
can
and
see
gentlemen,
the
please
power
direct your
plant
attention to the show
Ready,
center
Gracia?
as
is
Arrhythmia.
behind the pilot, and not too different from a non-powered
Woo!
parachute. They come in for a landing. So, Paul, you've got more data on that. Let's have a little fun.
This
with
is
Arrhythmia.
Arrhythmia. They are the precision flying machine team, and they've got lights, they've got smoke, they've got it all going on here. They're going to show some precision maneuvers that will wow you. They're going to talk about it here with us. Jughead's going to talk with one of them while the Stoll guys are setting up that
I
line
need to get a
chalk
quick
it.
pie rip. How was the air?
It was beautiful tonight, man. I am so looking forward to this week up down here.
All right. You hear that, Stoll boys and girls? The wind is good. Steady right in your face. I like that. So here's our team. They're going to set up those flags that the pilots will be looking for. Now, the nice thing is we got a nice steady wind out of the west. The bad thing is apparently every single day the sun sets in the west. And they are going to be using their visors, their flying eye glasses, and everything they have to try to see this line. And that's something that whether I'm flying in the country, I live up in Pacific Northwest Washington, about 80% of my flying is off airport in the river bars, out in sagebrush hunting with my dog Dakota, or just out playing anywhere we can land, which is about anywhere. But knowing exactly where you're landing, being able to see all that is part of the challenge, not only of smart off-field air operations, but of STOL competition as well. You'll see some of these airplanes are coming in with such a high nose angle, such an angle of attack, they can't see over the nose anyway. They're looking out to the side. Some will be doing a combination of looking left and right, or out in front to try to pick out that line. You may use the very tall flags to help if you can't see the line specifically. Like we talked about, short of the line, it's a scratch. So there's a big psychological aspect in a competition. Do you go out and try to put a safe pass in the books, i.e. maybe given a 95%, get one score across the line so you have something to compete with, or do you go aggressive from the get-go? That's great if it works, but if you scratch, now the pressure's on. It means you got to really get on number 2. What happens when you scratch on number 2? Now the pressure's really on, because your competitors may or may not know whether you're scratched, because we like to listen on the radio. We like to have information fed to us. We like to be in the lineup where you can watch your competitor land. I don't know how many times I've come on base leg and I'm looking down and watching my competitor to see if I can see if they hit the line or not. So there's a big psychological aspect of the competition, as well as the max performing the airplane and for yourself.
And here they come out right now. Warren Gobular, Jay Stanford, Joel Dobson. Excuse me, those two aren't going, but it's Warren Gobular, Jerry Clemens, Doug Jetson, Sheldon Heatherton, Patrick McIntyre, Keith Lange, Dan Reynolds, Levi Nugas, and Austin Clemens all coming out right now. That's Warren Gobular right there, isn't it?
It is, Paul, and how we're going to run this is we're going to run this in 3 heats. Normally we'll break up the heats in a competition based on the performance categories of the airplane, based on weight, whether they're experimental or certified. Today it's a demonstration, so we kind of got them mixed up. Mr. Warren, he's a Florida boy from down south, and he is flying a 1955 Cessna 180. Got that MT propeller, a bunch of great McFarland products on it, and of course, Clemens Aviation, protecting us off airport, on airport, in competitions. $10 a win, that is a pretty good effort, especially to be the very first person. This air is usually pretty thick. Absolutely, if you like it, let them know. Make some noise.
That's a big airplane, too.
Now this man, look at this, is a Christian Husky. But if you look at that tail feather, that is not the normal Husky emblem that you get from the factory. This young man, Austin Clemens, is one of the absolute best in this industry. Woo, at about 130 feet, you can hear the growl out of that. That is not your typical 0360. Here's his father, Jerry Clemens, in a much more stock Christian Husky. Great backcountry airplanes made out of Aviat in Wyoming. They looked at the vulnerable Super Cub. They said those are a good airplane, but there's a lot of great ways to improve them. There's more room, there's more speed, there's more comfort. I've had the privilege, this was the first tail dragger I flew. Oh, a little bit longer than the kids. So, you know, a little bit of rivalry back home as well. Wondering who's going to be washing the motorhome when they get home from Sun and Fun. Okay, so we've got the guys flying a 500-foot pattern. We need to kind of space it out. We have to go around the Geico building. Apparently, insurance people don't like airplanes flying low over them. I don't get that. But that's going to give Warren a chance to set up. We also need to stay above the NOAA building down here. And it makes good sense because you want to stay as high as you can to keep yourself having options if you lose a motor or anything else goes wrong. So you'll see Warren come in, he'll swing in, he'll start to dip down. Now there's a couple different approaches to landing. You can come in steep, which is handy if you got obstacles to go over, whether that's tall trees, brush, logs you're landing on, or if you don't have good visibility. Today, I think I would make my first pass with a pretty steep approach. What's that mean in my 170? Idle power trimmed all the way back, 40 degrees of flaps, about 1,300 RPM coming down. And that's going to help me see that line. He's going to be definitely using these flags, but with no crosswind today, these flags are nice and narrow in his field of vision. If I was competing, I would start taking into account where that 500-foot remaining sign is and build stuff off of it. This is where a good flying cowboy's helmet and its visor helps you as well, not only providing the protection, but helping with the eyesight. Sitting up high, that one comes in short. There you can see the 31-inch bush wheels on the right side skidding.
That's disappointing for Warren Gobilar there. That's a beautiful aircraft, and you should see that in the sunshine. Whoa!
You better wear your sunglasses when you do it.
No doubt about it.
All right. So now Austin coming in. He is definitely coming in a little bit higher than looked like Warren was. So you can come in lower power settings, steeper angle, or you can bring it in. You're usually a little faster if you're doing that, but you're going to burn off some energy in the flare, and you're going to burn off some energy with a more vertical touchdown. And there's things that we've built into the suspension systems of these airplanes to help absorb that energy and touchdown that we'll talk about. Now we settling in behind the power curve, a little power, a little power. There it is. Oh, no.
I think I call boo on that.
At 101 feet, the Army says no good.
Boo.
Colonel Matthews says no.
Boo.
He's a pretty straight shooter, even if he is an Army guy. And from Louisiana.
So to make it clear, if the tires blow chalk, it's a disqualification.
Yes, if the main tire touches before the chalk.
What
if
if a
you
gust
land
of-
perfectly on the line, it's good, and you're still going to blow chalk.
What if
But
a
in
gust of wind blows it up?
in competitions, we have cameras, and we'll go to instant replay. So Jerry's bringing it in very low, fighting that sun. He's going to go long, but he's going to be safe.
Ho-ho!
All right, how many know what you just heard right there? That was a reversing propeller, absolutely. And you think, oh, well, that's got to be easy. I just got to touch down and pull it. No. You talk to these guys at how hard they had to practice and how difficult it is to touch down in a fashion that allows you to safely go into reverse, still get the power applied, and then get it off. And only about 50% of the time do all of those requirements come together. They actually can use the reverse thrust.
He may have been long, but he's in the books.
He is in the books, absolutely. All right, we are now going Doug Jackson, the founder of National Stoll and a Badlands Traveler, getting off right at about the 100-foot mark. That is a great first effort there. Here is Keith Lang, a wildlife biologist, a real-life bush pilot out of Alaska. He and I and Dan Reynolds will be doing a seminar forums later. There you go, Warren. Look at that beautiful airplane. Yeah, we'll remind the kid. He got the big Strike X. There you go. Jerry's got it figured out. Number one, right up front. Clemens Aviation, number one in aviation, number one in competition here tonight, too.
And look,
I mean,
no hands.
Demonstration. All right, this is a lightweight Cub, leading edge slats, big bore prop on 160 horse. Oh, and he pulled a little early. That's what I was talking about. And you saw that airplane just said, oh, no, we're not ready for this. So he got an extra 25 feet coming in at just 100 feet or shorter.
And Levi Nugas here.
Levi's got the 3/4 scale Storch replica with the Rotax. Proud Killeen, Texas Army native here.
I had a talk with him today, and he said that he had it out for Dan Reynolds, let me tell you.
You put a little wind on this airplane, and Levi is getting really good at flying it. This obviously is based off of a real-world airplane that the Luftwaffe had in World War II. It was built exactly for this type of operation. Oh, yeah. Now, next time he takes off, I want you to notice something. Watch when the airplane starts to fly, and it rolls for another about 10 feet before the landing gear completely extend their struts all the way. He's trying to figure out a way that he could pin those struts for takeoff and then let them come all the way down for landing, because it always buys them about 5 extra feet as they extend their full length.
As they're going around, Jughead, tell us if you think Dan Reynolds is going to use his nitrous oxide tonight?
I'm sorry, say that again, Paul?
Dan Reynolds, he's got nitrous oxide on his Chinook Valdez Special. Is he going to use it?
He wasn't able to bring that in. The tariffs were preventing it.
Oh.
You know, being from Canada and all.
Oh. When you hear that thing go, I tell you, you know something's going on.
Yeah, that's the warning sign for the moose and goats. You better be hiding because Dan's coming out hunting.
Moose.
All right. Here we're coming back in. Doug Jackson back in with this Badlands Traveler. This is a I'm going to say custom-built airplane. Obviously, it's a Cub style of aircraft. Some nice improvements, some custom wing modifications in the fuselage structure. Of course, you'll see almost everybody here running Alaska Bush wheels. Those do a couple things for us. One, they obviously allow you to roll over big rocks, terrain, stuff like that. There's the chalk line on his tires. Oh, yeah. Oh, that was so good. I thought he had that, and he probably doesn't know that he scratched that. That probably felt good in the airplane.
And now he's got 2 marks on his wheels.
Now he's got 2 marks. Look at the big, heavy-duty Acme struts that provide the suspension on that gear of that airplane. So that's some of the stuff that we're trying to do to absorb energy. When you're touching down firmly, you're trying to absorb that energy. The tires do it. The shocks do it. Oh, Keith is short as well. Skinned the tires to a good stop, though. He knows that that one was a scratch, and he's just going to roll it through. We even have suspension on the tail wheels to all help absorb energy, and it does 2 things. It helps protect the airframe. You know, my 170, 1955 built. They're not building more classics like that. And while I'm going to use it, I'm not going to abuse it. So I run T3 tail wheel suspension system, of course, my Bush wheels. I've got heavy-duty 180 gear, so that does a pretty good job of taking the abuses of off-airport flying as well. And I like having the tall legs. It lets me get through the sagebrush when I'm out chucker and pheasant and quail hunting.
So, Jughead, there's only 1 in the book so far. Isn't that correct?
There is. Let's see what Levi can do here.
Levi Nugas.
Come on, come on, come on, come on. There it is.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. That's nice. Got 2 in the books. That's 2 of them.
123. He'll take that. He will take that. All right. So that's our second group. Here comes our third lineup. We're going to start with the Zenith, and Sheldon Harrington bringing in the Zenith there. Redbird. He's been heavily involved in the National Stoll Competition Series, been down here flying before. Super cool airplane, easy to build, most of it pull rivets. Good performance. Up, cheating past the line. He gave up a foot there. Bad
Zenith 750.
bad mental mistake. Doug, oh, so close, buddy.
Sheldon Harrington with the Zenith 750 right on the line, getting ready to go here, Jughead.
He's got the Rotax. He's been doing a lot of practicing lately. Keith looking good there. Acme Aero, Badlands Stoll Shop helping him out. Now, he calls that plane Nitro, but I don't think he was running any of it today. And also on the Storch, there you go. Woo! That bottom.
Levi, you know Levi.
All right. Here we go. Tricycle gear gives you lots of AOA and a nice lift off at about 140 feet. A lot of people think, hey, you can't win, you can't compete, you can't do some big off-airport stuff in nose gear airplane. That's simply not true.
Now,
you just have to do it differently.
Jughead, I'm not supposed to have a special, but I'll tell you what, I like Dan Reynolds. I like Dan Reynolds for today to take it all home.
Well, everybody likes Dan because he's such a great guy. If he's willing to drive down from the Dawson, Yukon. Oh, right at 75.
That Chinook Valdez special showed its stuff, didn't it?
That is a customized Chinook running, I think it's like a 617 Rotax that he's done a lot of work. He has taken that Chinook basic airframe and kind of like become the expert of how to modify it, how to maximize it. And it's not just to show Stoll airplanes. He runs a, what's that? All right, I hear there's a delay in my mic. So I'll talk. You guys count to 2 and then listen. No?
We'll get it sorted out.
That is bad.
Something happened. We don't know. But we'll find out.
I think the North Pole shifted again.
I think it did it.
It
We
could
do
be.
know that
Are we good now?
there's going to be a magnetic pole shift sometime.
All right. But Dan works those airplanes. I have pictures of Dan having half a moose in the back of a Chinook. He works them in the snow. He works them on wheels. He also has Super Cubs when he's having to move people. He's got two-place Chinooks. So these are not just an ultralight toy airplane for him. These are working airplanes every day, running a strap line in the Yukon. This year, he sent out a picture, and because it's across the border, I can talk about this. He has a really nice barn. It's about the size of, the roof of it was about the size of this grandstand right here. He put a set of ski tracks across the top of it.
Now,
He
Jughead, I got
He
to ask.
did not full stop on it,
I
but
got.
he probably could have.
I got to ask Jughead, what happened to the other half of the moose? Weren't you wondering? I was wondering what happened to the other
That's
half.
on the next load. That's
Oh,
on the next load.
So they're coming back in. They're going to do their landing here, and let's see what happens. Like I said, Dan Reynolds, my personal favorite. I'm not supposed to say favoritism, but we got 2 in the book so far, right?
We do. Now,
Who's
what
it-
you're going to find different with the Chinook, obviously he's sitting up front. He has incredible visibility, probably the best visibility of any of the Bush Stoll competitors. You're going to see that instead of flaring the airplane, pulling back like most of us, some of us are deflaring to put the mains on. You're going to see Dan can literally almost nosedive the airplane onto the ground because you can't tip it over on its nose. It can go up to its nose, but it just skids along on the bottom of it. Now, he doesn't try to do that on purpose, but he can literally attack the line is almost how you would describe it.
Now, Jughead, doesn't he have a nickname?
Let's watch Mr. Hetherington bring in that Zenith. This is looking good. Hold it up, hold it, hold it. Ow! He needed one little burst of power. I think that sun is playing a little bigger impact on the pilots than we think.
It could be. So Dan Reynolds, though, you were talking about that steep descent angle there. The last landing.
one?
This is
All
the
right.
last one. But Dan Reynolds coming in now. Doesn't he have a nickname that he likes to tell everybody? He kind of lives up to it.
I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm going to let you tell that story. What I am going to tell people, though, is so we have some restrictions. We've got a limited time window tonight due to 2 things. The sun, we have to have everybody down by sunset, and we also have some other performers that require all the airplanes to be down. So, just like you never really know how many passes you're going to get in a normal competition, tonight is all going to turn out to be you get 1 pass. And whoever put it together on the very first pass is going to be getting the celebratory beers tonight. So let's see if Dan Reynolds can stay on the right side of the scratch line. Super low approach. The leading edge slats working. Sunglasses. Oh, no! A 35-foot scratch. Don't you hate it when you land in 35 feet and you're mad about it?
Now, with the last of the competitors down, the exhibitors down, I should say, what we're going to do is parade them in front of you so that you can show your enthusiasm as we are clearing the area for a surprise for you. And you'll know it and you'll see it when it happens. So that's going to be it for the Stoll competition for tonight. For that reason, for timing and for a pre-planned bit of excitement we have for you.
All right. Well, I would also like to thank the men and women in the various companies that have helped make the Paradise City Stoll demonstration possible. Those include Operation Airdrop, Airplanes and Coffee, Masters Brewery, Husky and the Recreational Aviation Foundation, Patriot Aircraft, which you'll see flying this. We're competing on Thursday and Friday night as well. TL Sport Aircraft, Slow Mo Stoll. Yeah, that's
Warren
right.
Gobillard,
There's
Jerry
the
Clement,
photo
Doug
opportunity.
Jackson.
Photo opportunity and your chance to show your animation.
Crosswind Electrical, Experimental Aircraft Channel, McFarland Aviation, and Trails and Timbers. Thank you for your wonderful support of the Stoll demonstration here for, what is it, Tuesday night at Sun and Fun. Jerry, congrats. That's a win, buddy. That's a win. Yeah. So did you guys enjoy it? Did they perform a little better than you thought these airplanes would perform? Some of it, yeah. Come on back on Thursday. Call your weatherman up. Let's get 20 knots right down the nose, and let's see Dan Reynolds operate in the 10-foot category.
It's 735.
Mr. Doug Jackson out of North Texas. That Badlands Traveler is looking good.
Well, yeah. So they got the flyby here in Well, 5 minutes.
And I'm not sure, but I think Levi and the Storch is probably going to be the winner tonight. We'll get the official scores and pass on to you. Keith, good job. A little bit short, buddy. Yeah.
They're pulling the audio from there. And
That's it. That's it.
Yeah.
It was weird because it did good for the longest time when it started.
Well, everybody, my name's John Jughead Council. I sure appreciate you coming out. Of course, this is just a small part of the show, so by no means am I telling you it's over. It is not over. We got some really cool stuff coming up, and of course, we got the surprise. Now, I got eyes onto our surprise as they were trying to get around us to the west. I lost track of where they were.
I understand we got about 4 minutes for that to happen, Jughead. 4 minutes. You might want to get your earplugs ready.
Well, 10 minutes, that's a good chance to head back there and grab some of that wonderful food we were smelling. Where'd that corn go? That kid
That's
eat
right.
it all already?
We've got corn right back there. In fact, we've got the cold malted beverages. We've got hamburgers. We've got the brick pizza. We've got all kinds of vendors right there. They will be here all week long, but you can get it now if you want.
Be sure to go to Sun and Fun app and come look at the forums that we're having down at the Bush Base Camp. Ugh, say that 3 times.
Bushwill Base Camp.
Bushwill Base Camp. I'll be teaching 2 different forums. One on Stoll for Rookies. What's it take to get started? And the great thing about National Stoll Series is they have come out and introduced a rookie class where it does not matter what type of airplane you're flying. You go through
Now, with the field clear, we changed the format again to yet another piece of variety as we're living in paradise. This is just such a neat place after the long day of working and being out in the sun to come back here as the temperatures go down, the sun goes down, and we still entertain you. It's so relaxing, and I love the spirit of our Paradise audiences. You have really given us a lot of attention, a lot of enthusiasm in your participation with us. It's all about having fun. There is no protocol here. It's just great fun, and I hope you know the people that are sitting next to you. Aviation's a great place. We're having a wonderful time here. Meet the people that are around you. Make friends forever for the rest of your life. Now, we have just seen the shooters come out of an airplane, a perfectly good airplane. That may be a misnomer. With their chutes. Now, there's another way to get into the air, and that's the Arrhythmics. They carry their propulsion on their back. They start as a parachute formation team from the ground into the air. How they do that, you're going to see that. They'll get a running start. They'll increase the throttle on their backpack. The parachute will fill up, and they'll be off the ground climbing for altitude.
Danny, you know how you're getting old? When you look at this and you go, that looks really fun to fly one of those powered paragliders until you have to see them bend over, bend their knees, put that back.
Film left in your telephone to be able to be able to be able to get a good shot as the canopies billow out. Now they've also got LED feature to be able to entertain us at places like Sun and Fun and at the world's largest aviation celebration. You and I know it as Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Daytime, nighttime, formation and head-on maneuvers.
And like all things machines, so frustrating. They just flew in here, and now number 3's got a no star. It's like, it was just running.
We're good on time, and I like the way this team as well. Make sure that everything is correct. If it's not totally right, it must be wrong.
There we
an
go.
Obligation to
Talking
aviation.
about good crew chiefs, he figured out what was wrong. Whether it was a spark lead or what. Little run up on the, I don't know if you can all see it, but he basically braced his legs out in front of him and nailed the throttle.
So, John,
not to get blown
think
over.
they have to check both mags, see if they get a proper mag drop, and then cycle the prop through, of course, to get the warm oil in the prop. If it sounds like I'm exaggerating, just let me know. You're probably right.
You know, Danny, I've seen all the volunteers running around out here all over the airport today in their special blue shirts. And this operation does not live, does not even begin to become a dream without the volunteers. So I would sure love everybody to put your hands together. When you see a volunteer out there, thank them for whatever they're doing out here, whether it's picking up trash, moving seats, delivering food, but we can't do it without you. Thank you very much.
Now the Arrhythmia team making their final preparations. Highly skilled. There's the lights we talked about. Paramotor instructors, they're from throughout the United States as they prepare to run into the sky. Yes, it will be a sprint for takeoff. Showbiz is what this is all about. As it gets darker and they get into their formation flights, they will not be obscured by the lack of sunlight. All you need is the distance of an average football field to be able to safely get off and back on final approach with your gear down for a landing. Now they'll be approaching for their parade pass as they come by the next time. Be sure and give them a loud cheer because they can actually hear you over their radio and headset. The louder you cheer, the better and tighter they're going to fly. So they invite you to get loud. Show business and imagination rules the world. Light up the sky. It is an ultralight flying machine that you wear like a backpack. 1 week's worth of proper training will get you into the air. They're easy to fly, easy to transport, and easy to maintain. About the size of a football field, and after you disassemble the paramotor, it is small enough to fit into a small car. Arrhythmia, I'll spell that for you because we're going to give you some information on that. AIRYTHMIA is the nation's premier paramotor demonstration team. Mission of the team is to share the sport of paramotoring while entertaining people of all different backgrounds and inspiring them to learn more about the purest form of recreational flying imaginable. There's the stack formation and the stack transitioning into a 360-degree turn. I talked to you about their precision, and this is part of it. You look at the precision of the spacing, the distance, and the stack of the machines. They perform at air shows and events throughout the country. Each pilot represents a school where they can teach you how to fly a paramotor. You can do that even though you may not have a pilot's license and you have never flown an airplane, no problem. 1 week of training is what they say. Run into the sky, fly your paramotor for yourself, and watch for the team to come in on the staggered cross. The team is led by the team leader. His name is John Isley. His paramotor school is Para America, located in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Next in the stack, going from bottom to top, Alexis Quintana, followed by Justin Fox. Justin's from Leading Edge PPG, his school in Schoolcraft, Michigan. Finally, on the very top, Kyle Mooney. He is from One Up Adventures in Lake Wells in the great state of Florida. Echoing John Consol's tribute to our great volunteers, the team would like to make this flyby a dedication to all the volunteers that make the show possible. Hundreds and hundreds and hundreds. Working early in the morning before we get here, working late at night after we've left the field. When you didn't think it could get any better, get a load of this. Airborne pyro. Rhythmia would also like to thank their supporters, Leading Edge, PPG, Midwest Parajet, Nebraska Paramotor, One Up Adventures, Par America, Resurgence PPG, and Skyfield Flight Works. Performers John Isley from Par Americana, Alexis Quintana from Leading Edge PPG in Schoolcraft, Michigan. Ship number 3, Justin Fox, Leading Edge PPG, also from Schoolcraft, Michigan. And Kyle Mooney, One Up Adventures, the name of his company, Lake Wales, Florida. Sponsors for the team's performance are Leading Edge PPG, Midwest Parajet, Nebraska Paramotor, One Up Adventures, Par Americana, Resurgence PPG, and Skyfield Flight Works of Statesboro, Georgia. Get a load of this. I talked to you about the formation flight, the stacking, the 360s, and then the split, precision split at Air Show Center. All right, look left, coming in left to right, coming in right to left. In front of us, they'll do a cross over the top of the field. Both are stacked in the opposing maneuver. That's too cool. They got some hours in to be this good. I can tell you this from watching John Isley, the team leader, for many years at Oshkosh, day and night. They're a very dedicated group of precision flyers. And like all the other performers here, throughout the course of the day and the course of the evening, they take their flying very seriously, but they don't take themselves serious at all. Now from the head-on maneuvers, watch as they very artistically get back in that stacked formation. Wasn't that great? You can applaud if you love them. Thank you for that.
Danny, as a fighter pilot, ran a lot of intercepts. That was an impressive intercept. I like that turn rate.
That was precision. You're right. There's a lot of rehearsal that went into that. More photo opportunities coming in over the tree line. Light them if you got them, as they said. Smoking is permitted here. Artistry in the sky. And I noticed a little special effects on the other side of the team as the sky was, Mother Nature was lighting up the sky. And another great split with pyro. And the waltz, the dance. And the landing. Watch the landing gear. Just like a skydiver.
Oh, yeah. Nice and smooth.
Piece of cake. Speed control. And coming in sequence, just like a normal airport, giving themselves spacing, the flare, landing gear down, and another precision landing. It's quiet.
Toe dragon, toe dragon.
Speed
Little
brake.
power as well.
Now they're all on the ground collectively, folks. Let's give them a big round of applause. Thank you, Arrhythmic. They will be back, by the way, for our nighttime show here in Paradise on Thursday, and we will be performing again on Friday. Thursday and Friday, 7 o'clock, this team will be back. So tell your friends, come back and join us.
Danny, I think I'm about to see something that I have never seen before. We've got, is it Dakota drones? Did I have that right?
We've got the drones. You're right. And we'll tell you a little bit about the team.
That's going to be Starlight Drone Shows. That's
Yeah, you're right.
StarlightDroneShows.com.
Starlight Drone.
They're out. Still, next is coming the drone show that's coming up right now, StarlightDroneShows.com. They'll be getting ready and letting go. Great show, three-dimensional display.
And we're going to do that, by the way, to music. Another big round of applause as the team.
Get ready for the
Yes.
Loving every minute of it. Great sky dance.
So, Danny, I don't want to break.
And we'll have the manufactured showcase. At about 12 o'clock, 12:30 or so, will be the big air show. Pick it up from there.
Yeah, so be with us there tomorrow. And by the way, because of our night show at the big airport tomorrow night, will be dark here, but you'll still be entertained in the evening. And the night pyro acts and a lot of action.
And if you haven't seen it so far, they've been testing the lasers. It is something to see. They've got quite a pyrotechnic extravaganza here at Sun and Fun. The 51st Sun and Fun at Lakeland Linder Airport. It's going to be something to see. They've got the wall of fire. They've got the airplanes shooting the fireworks. And, of course, those lasers dancing around in all the smoke. It's something to see, Jughead.
Well, and the temperature's going to be nice and cool. And let me tell you, we've been doing this a long time, and it's never gets old watching a night air show. It is incredible what those pilots can do. The pyro on the aircraft, just the different optics. It is a special feature.
Well, what you end up seeing, as you guys know, is you see
Safely get started in a very rewarding and fun Stoll world.
So as you know, we've got all things going on right here at Paradise City and Sun and Fun in general. Remember that the Stoll demonstration will continue.
I'm going to head down there, and thanks to our sponsors for providing that. I see the Arrhythmia guys and gals are down here answering questions. If you'd like to learn more about their unique team or learn how to do some paragliding yourself.
And this just in from the Air Boss, we are waiting for a hard time for the lighted drone show, 8:30.
8:30, all
As
right.
we enjoy that light show provided by Mother Nature, John, on the other side of the tree line, did you see special effects from the drone people? We're going to keep you aware of that, but right now we got good distance on it. Everybody concerned is looking for that. So stay with us. The temperatures are cool. We're counting down to make sure it's dark for the drones. They're going to do a little sky dance to the background of some patriotic music. And then we are going
And if you're out camping with your airplane, you wake up in the morning, you're looking for that cup of joe, come on down to the Bush Wheel Base Camp. Airplanes and Coffee is providing complimentary coffee to all our guests between 8 and 12 each day. And our Bush Camp is just right down here to the east, right at the corner, basically across catty corner from
I'm
the
being
island.
told that we're going to cut off the live stream right now because it's getting too dark to film. So this is going to end it for the Sun and Fun radio live stream that we're doing. We're going to continue having fun here with the drone show that'll start in about 10 minutes, but the live stream is going to end. They just want to make sure that we say that. Pick up
all
there.
right. Yeah, stick and stay. Don't go away. The best part of the night is coming up in terms of cool temperatures and laid